Okay, we're back. We're going to show you a kind that you can use with preschoolers. In fact, they may have already done it. It's a kind you use regular old creamy shaving cream, not the gel kind, the foaming kind. So we're going to do this, and we're going to put some on a paper plate. Now, you need some kind of a container, but it can be almost anything. Something out of your kitchen cabinet. It could be something aluminum that you got at the Dollar Tree or something. And we're going to put on kind of a level amount of shaving cream, and it's going to be big enough so that our piece of paper is going to be covered. And you're going to need some craft paints. We're using acrylic craft paints, but you can also use food coloring, or you can use watercolors. So use what you have. And if you're using some paint like the acrylic paint, you are going to have to thin it down. So you need some little containers, and you're going to put your paint in, and then you're going to put about the same amount of water as you did paint. Now, I've already thinned down my paint, but Stephanie's going to show you what she's doing with her third color. So she wants to make sure that she doesn't put too much water in. And then she's going to have to stir it so that it mixes real well. You don't want your paint so heavy that it's going to go to the bottom of your whatever container you're using to hold the paint. But most of it just sticks on top of your foam anyway. But if you use your acrylic paint straight out of the little bottle, which we tried, it does tend to make globs of paint that don't dry real well, and also they can smear more. Now, we're going to use the same kind of paper that we were using on the Suma Nagashi. One is going to be that lighter paper, and one is going to be the watercolor paper. And again, they have X's on them, so we know that we want to put the other side face down. It has the alum on it. But the first thing we're going to do is put our colors on, and Stephanie's going to use some eyedroppers, and I'm just going to use paintbrushes and flick it on. So I'm going to give my paints one more stir to make sure that they're stirred up well. Oh, I did it again. I flicked paint on. And when it's done, then I just dip my paintbrush in there and get paint on it, and then I tap it. And then that spreads the paint around. If you want it a little bigger dots, you can just let it drip off the end of your paintbrush. And you can see how Stephanie's is going, and she's just rinsing out her paint, or her eyedropper in some water. Got quite a bit of ink or paint in it already. That's why it looks that color. It's not anything but water. Okay, now I've got my turquoisey color on here, teal, whatever you call it. What would you call it, Stephanie?
I think it looks teal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got some little dots and I've got some bigger dots, and I think that's probably just about enough. Now, we are using 3 different colors each, and some of the people who show how to do this online will tell you that you need a light, a medium, and a dark. And they tell you only to use 3 different colors. I don't always follow that rule. Do what you want here, but that is kind of the rule of thumb, to use 3 colors and 3 different intensities. And we're gonna get it on there. Can you tell she's using gold? That will be fancy. Now, she's ready to start marbling hers, and she's gonna do it with a skewer. Just a regular old bamboo skewer. You can use almost anything. You can use a coffee stirrer. You could use a toothpick. You could use the other end of your paintbrush if you want. Okay, now I'm going to do my yellow. Oh, I like it.
so pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
So pretty.
Now, there is another kind of marbling that a lot of people online will show you how to do, but I haven't quite figured out the right amount of thickener to put in the water. They want you to have thick water, and they've got different ways of doing that, but I haven't been successful yet. If I ever do get successful, maybe we'll do that one. Okay, I'm going to try Stephanie's method and see how I like this. Just kind of stirring. If you do with little kids, they'll for sure just go at it.
Yeah.
And it'll be very interesting. Whatever you do, you can do straight lines. You can do up and down, across, diagonal, whatever you want. I think I'm going to stop there before I just make a muddy mess. Okay, now I'm going to try this paper first, and I want to make sure that the X is on the back, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to tap it gently just to make sure that everything is making contact with that foam. I want it all colored. And then I'm going to show you something that you can do if maybe it misses a spot, but we'll wait because it's likely that I'll miss a spot. Okay, we're gonna lift it up.
Ooh,
I like it. But see, there's a place that doesn't have any. Now what I can do is I can just take that corner and I can put it down on here and make sure that it gets some color on it. Now we're going to put these aside and we're going to let them dry. Here's some that we already did. But now I'm going to add a little more color, and then I'm going to do my watercolor paper. So let's see. Maybe I want it a little bit darker. Would you want to trade? Could I use some of your blue?
Yeah, you bet.
I think I might put a little dark blue in here. Are you ready to do another one?
Well, I kind of splished when I fixed my corner.
You know what though? You can
I can
make
re-swirl
it right. You can re-swirl it.
It's very forgiving.
It is. And you know, if you mix it all up, it'll be just all these colors that don't really have a design, but they're pretty because they've got all the different colors. So you can do it any way you want, and you can reuse the foam as long as you keep doing it right then. Later it'll dry up and kind of almost turn crispy.
Oh.
And then I think maybe I'll add in the yellow and the peach color a little bit. Again, you notice that I've covered the table with a vinyl cloth. This is kind of messy, so you don't want to ruin your surface. So be sure you prepare, and you might want to do that with your clothes too. That's why Stephanie is wearing an apron. Okay. Now this is kind of crazy looking, but I'm hoping that it'll be pretty when I'm done. Now I've got 4 colors. Oh, and look, when I put this yellow on, it does make some green. I'm gonna put it right on that purple, or blue. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, this time I think I'm gonna use the coffee stirrer. And I'm gonna use the edge so it's thin, but I'm gonna go a couple directions. Now I'm gonna go this way. Kind of swirls, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
I think I might do it even again. Okay, Have you wondered what we're going to do with this paper when we're done? Well, we've done several things. What have you done with yours, Stephanie?
I've made cards with mine. I've used it in my scrapbooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have some samples here. A notebook, just a regular sheet of paper, and then a card and an envelope. And then you see a bookmark. So there's lots of things you can do with it. You could even just, if you had a piece that was really pretty, you might just frame it. Now I found that since I mentioned this before, I'm messy. And I usually get some on the back. That when I did a bookmarker, I added a piece of like cardstock on the back to make it heavier and to cover up all those little smears I had on there. Just punched a hole and then put a little tassel on it. So there's lots of things you can do. We're gonna take this off in a minute here, and then we have to scrape it. Did we scrape our other one?
Not yet.
Okay, I have to scrape that one. It's already melting, so I don't see the foam so much. Ooh, look at that one.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Now I see a spot where I'm gonna put a little color though, because I missed. Okay, I'm gonna let that one dry. I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna use a scraper, and Stephanie's gonna use an old gift card. It's not good anymore. I used all of it, so it might not even be for something that exists anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
So there you go. You scrape the foam off, and it seemed like that kind of melted into it. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
What went on there? Okay, so we let this dry, and then we can see about scraping this one. I think it might be a little early. I think I might want to wait. Oh, I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. So I hope you try it, and that you like it, and that you'll come back again and find another craft activity. Remember, this is Marsha's Craft Studio. Bye-bye.